Dragon Ball Z. Rock the dragon, come get me. Rock the dragon Ball Z. Rock the dragon, come get me.
What's going on, everybody? Danny here. Today we're going to be talking about Comic-Con Palm Springs 2018. This past weekend, as of this recording, was the 3-day Comic-Con Palm Springs. And I went, yes. Unfortunately, the boy Jay couldn't go on the last day, so that kind of sucks. But other than that, this con, it's the third year this is happening. And they decided they wanted to save money and move it from the convention center to the Palm Springs Air Museum, which is nowhere near where the convention center is. And that's where it was held for 3 days. The first day was really short. It was like, with the exhibit hall open, it was only like 4 hours. And then you had the big day, Saturday, and then you had Sunday to end it all off. And I did go all 3 days, checked everything out. Unfortunately, didn't go to any panels. Nothing just really interested me, for the panels that they had. But other than that, my final thoughts on this con is, man, it was alright. And it should have been at the convention center. You know, now, you know, I know people that work in the con and, you know, just kept hearing all this stuff going on. Like, okay, well, they're saving this much money. And it's like, well, that number of them saving money kept getting smaller and smaller the closer we got to the con. So it's like, well, how much money are we really saving? Like, is it even worth it at this point? Right. And I'll tell you right now, it really wasn't. Like, when I walked around, I was like, okay, this isn't that bad. You know, you had two main sections, like the exhibit hall was split in half, basically. And then if you go to, there's a third section where it has the gaming hall, there's some more merch over there. That's where the food is located. And that is where the panels were held in one big room. And, man, let me tell you, Saturday was the most busiest, as it would be. And it got hot. You know, this is the Palm Springs Air Museum. It's not, I don't think any museum is suited for a crowd that big in a space that small, you know, and it's, trust me, man, it was pretty warm and they didn't really, I guess they weren't prepared for that, which they definitely should have been. You know, it's Palm Springs, triple digits that weekend, you know, and you're telling me you're not ready for all the heat inside. And eventually they just grabbed some fans and, like these little turbo fans that they had on the floor to ventilate the air. And that was pretty much all they had, but I don't recall seeing that on Saturday. That wasn't there until Sunday when it, like, probably half the amount of people were there. So, yeah, that was definitely a big problem for the convention, was the fact that it was in a location that doesn't make sense. Just the heat, you know, played a big factor into that. And it's just, it doesn't really make sense, again, because if you get your badge, you know, you also get to go to the Palm Springs International Animation Festival that was going on the same weekend. However, that is nowhere near the location. Where the festival was happening is closer to the convention center than where the con was actually at. So, also, if you remember last year, at the convention center, it's like hooked up right next to the Renaissance Hotel, and they had stuff going on over there at the hotel. So it's like, again, it's like, why do I have to go to this location? Then I have to, you know, leave, go to a different location, and then leave to go to another location. Like, it just really didn't make that much sense, you know, overall. But other than that, I mean, some of the booths were okay, this and that. Just a big surprise, Jim Lee was there. You know, Sean Murphy, great artist. You know, voice actors, some cool booths, right? They had the showrunners for X-Men, the animated series, and we talked to them for a little bit about pretty much how them early on in the show and how, like, the surprise of lack of support, in a sense, that, not really lack of support, but like like the guy we were talking to, the main showrunner, he was explaining how, like, you know, it's the X-Men, they had Wolverine, and he had a contact, he contacted the person who created Wolverine back in Incredible Hulk, and asked if he wanted to work with them, whereas, well, wouldn't Marvel, like, shouldn't Marvel be on that ball, basically, is what, the gist of what he was saying. So, it was great learning all a bunch of crazy stuff that they did, for the show, and, just walked around some more, and, you know, went to the, all the booths that had comics, and I grabbed a bunch of, like, cheap comics. Was able to get all of my boy Wild Dog with his series, right, with the one shot. And just a bunch of just, you know, those dumb 90s comics that I had to buy. Like, I couldn't say no to these. Other than that, I just mainly walked around. I only cosplayed one day. I cosplayed Saturday as Wild Dog. I was gonna cosplay Wolverine on Sunday, but, you know, I was gonna cosplay with the boy Jake to do Cyclops. He was gonna do Cyclops to do Wolverine, but he didn't show up, and I was like, man, it's kinda hot. I'm just not really feeling it, you know? So I just ended up not cosplaying on day 3. But other than that, I mean, I did, on day 2, I entered a Dragon Ball tournament that they had there. And, I was feeling pretty good. I was like, yeah, I got this. And then this one guy that showed up late, entered, and, it was me and him in the semis, and just, goddamn, he bricked me pretty bad. So that sucks. I got 3rd on that. But it was fun, you know. It's definitely fun playing next to somebody in locals, you know. Like, I don't really play with a lot of people except online for Dragon Ball, and online Dragon Ball could get frustrating, so. But other than that, I mean, there's really not much else to say about this convention, you know. I mean, if you're cosplaying, like, old-timey cosplays, you know, like World War II Cap, there were these, this older couple that was cosplaying Jay Garrick Flash, right, with the classic look, and so they took photos with the airplane and stuff. So there's that aesthetic. You know, I saw Laura Croft cosplay doing that too. But yeah, just not a whole lot going on. Security was pretty lax this time around, so that's pretty good. I was able to walk in with my BB guns for Wild Dog, so that was pretty nice. And yeah, I mean, just walked around. There was some cool stuff here and there, but I don't know. It just felt all right. You know, there was definitely less than what CCPS had last year at the convention center, because the convention center is bigger, I think. They also had a blood drive going on, so that's pretty cool, for that support. And I didn't check out the film festival at all, sadly, or go to the Renaissance Hotel for whatever else they were doing. And I mean, overall, I really hope it's at the convention center next year. You know, if it's at the Air Museum again, I'm just not gonna go. You know, the only reason I went, I was like, okay, well, let's give them benefit of the doubt. Let's check it out, see how it is. And now that I've seen how it is, I don't want to go back over there. You know, nothing wrong with the Air Museum. It's just, it's not suited for a convention, you know? So, I mean, that's pretty much all I have to say, guys, about the con. I mean, I had a good time with my friends and all that, you know, meeting everybody. But other than that, it was just whatever. I mean, if it was smaller, I could understand. If there was less people, it'd be better. But, you know, it's your 3rd year. The fact that you have Jim Lee, you know, his only West Coast appearance this year, and you're cramming us in this Air Museum to the point where, like, vendors and cosplay guests had, like every time I just saw them constantly fanning them, and they're like, man, it's freaking hot in here. Like, what's going on? Like, turn the AC on. All that kind of drama, you know, like AX a couple years ago was like that, but it's like, again, I just think the building's not suited for an event that size. So CCPS, like, get your gears in place and go to the convention center, you know. And I think it would hurt them because remember, there was that other con earlier this year, Palm Springs Comic Expo, and they were at the convention center, and it was just so nice in there. Sure, not as many people, but still, like, they had the space, they had the temperature perfect. So that could be a competitor for next year, if they don't go to the convention center again for Comic-Con Palm Springs. Well, I'm just going to go to Palm Springs Comic Expo. Just CCPS who? No, I'm sorry. I'm not going over there again. So that was pretty much it for the con. The highlights were just the comics I bought, hanging out with the fam. If you see the episode before that got uploaded right before this was the drunk cast that we did during one of the nights. So go check that out. That's a fun time. And that's again pretty much it. I wasn't as hyped as last year, and Marvel Talk. We didn't do a cosplay gathering this year because, it's just me out here, no Connor, no Shelby, and plus after going to the venue, I'm like, yeah, where would we have it? Because even if we go outside, it was kind of windy, and then plus the heat's there. It's just nothing that anybody would look forward to, I think. So I'm kind of glad we didn't do it this year. So, we'll see next year. If they do it at the convention center, then we'll probably do it again. But that's a big if, it's all about the location. So, other than that, guys, thank you for listening. If you have any questions or comments, what are your thoughts? Did you go to the con? Email us at unversedpodcast@gmail.com. And you can follow us on social media anywhere you go at unversedpodcast to keep updated on the latest episodes. And that's all we got for you guys today. Thank you. And as always, we will talk to you next time.
I thought we was homies for life. Me too, but I thought we was trying to get out of this bullshit. You live in a fantasy, homie.
Keeping it G ain't nothing. You ain't gotta like it cause the hood don't love it. You ain't gotta like it cause the hood don't love it. Watch a young show his ass I'm puppy. I got the whole block bumping. You ain't gotta like it cause the hood don't love it. You ain't gotta like it cause the hood don't love it. Watch a young show his ass I'm puppy.
完成したデイリー正しいはずなのにひらりひらから回る未来は一筆でわずかな亀裂からいくらでも揺れて理想からそれてゆくんだぬるま湯がずっと冷めてゆく音がしてた道を変えるのなら今なんだこんなレプリカいらない本物と呼べるものだけでいい探しに行くんだそこへでもそれはよくできた出会いている
Compton to Baltimore, I'ma kill it. I buy a Morgan the minute. The public house, the plastic couch of a Section 8 tenant. The Regal window is tinted. The air conditioner broke, but I'm cool enough to ensure you my ride is an Eskimo. And I peel off in the midst of getting my thrills off, and I thrive off energy from inner cities that we lost. What? I'm putting the ghetto on top of my back, and I live in the back of the jungle. Lions, tigers, bears, oh my. Hear the siren, walk up, drive by. Shooters, looters, federal fed intruders. Engines on back of scooters, the real can recognize real, and we need to know just who you are. You are in the presence of many presents. Kendrick, the gift for the future, or yeah, I said it. Thug life.
月の下見えないものはどうしても記憶から薄れてしまうんだ探しに行く場所さえも見失う僕たちは気づかず目を振る思い出が頼りに作ってた花はすぐ枯れた足元には
That's how I was raised. The OGs had me 13, fresh off the porch, slinging cabbie. But I'm wiser now, showing my young niggas there's other ways to get them dollars and funds, nigga. Coming down in an old school, so cool. Whip like a fireball, call it go cool. You don't know the tribulations that we go through. Put your ears to the speakers, I'ma show you. I paint a picture so perfect. Hit my CD, you see Mona Lisa in person. Courtesy of 100 beat. Got my Crips and essays in arm reach.
ありがとう小さな目見つけてくれたの君はつぶやいた
I got the whole block bumping. You ain't gotta like it cause the hood don't love it. You ain't gotta like it cause the hood don't love it. Watch a young show his ass on public.
Oh, nigga, don't hate me cause I'm beautiful, nigga. Maybe you got rid of that old yee ass haircut you got. You get some bitches on your dick. Oh, better yet, maybe to call your dog ass if she ever stop fucking with that brain surgeon, the lawyer she fucking with, nigga.
What?